Well, first of all, I want to say good morning to all of you, or good afternoon as the case might be when you're watching this, and I hope you will accept my sincere apologies. I had gotten with Miss Hester and told her Sunday afternoon, I'm sorry that I missed you all, and she probably has told you by now, but essentially I was out enjoying a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I was on a bike ride. I was on my way to get back home to make sure I could be with you in person by 5 o'clock, but indeed I was supposed to be with you in person at 4 o'clock. And 4 o'clock is exactly what was on my calendar, and it's exactly what that morning when I got up and looked at the calendar for the day, I had thought, but in my mind I was thinking 5. So I'm really sorry that I missed all of you. You're going to get the same information here, but the difference is that I won't be able, of course, to answer any live questions. And I'd like to say a big thank you to Miss Donna Hester again for the great work in putting this together, for being so gracious and allowing me to come and do a video. But I also want to say a big thank you to Jonathan Thompson from our office, who of course heads up physical education programs. And I understand that not only did he do his part, but he stood in and began answering questions on my part of the presentation too. Jonathan does a wonderful job for us here at the department, but more importantly, he does a wonderful job for students all across this state in representing them and helping make sure that you all get your resources so that you can do the work that you do with our children each and every day. So with that, I'm going to now jump into a little presentation about Alabama Achieves, our strategic plan, and also some things that are relevant just for the end of this school year, the summer, and the months ahead. So Alabama Achieves is our strategic plan for the state. And Alabama Achieves came to us after a long development process in 2019 involving dozens of educators and business people and community members from across the state who came together and said, these are the things that we need and want for the children in our state. We had the misfortune of originally launching Alabama Achieves on March the 12th, 2020. Now, all of you know what happened then on March the 13th, as the governor had to stand up there and we closed our schools for a couple of weeks. As it would turn out, we closed our schools for in-person instruction for the rest of that school year, and then spent the succeeding months really getting ready to reopen again. So we're kind of relaunching Alabama Achieves, rebranding it, and thinking more about what it's going to mean to all of us in this post-pandemic world. I'm going to get into that, but first of all, I'm going to show you a couple of other slides. So I'm going to say something about vaccinations. To achieve our strategic plan goals, we have to first get our students back in school. And I certainly know that all of you as physical education teachers really do understand the importance of getting our students back into schools. Most of our adults now have been vaccinated. Many more of them are lined up to be vaccinated. I feel pretty confident by the fall that all of our teachers and adults that work in schools who want the vaccine will be vaccinated, and that many of our teenagers will be vaccinated. So as that age goes to 16 now and maybe later will be reduced to even lower ages, and as vaccines are developed for youngsters, then we feel like most of our students will be vaccinated in the coming year. But right now, it really is about getting all of those adults vaccinated. If you've not had yours, I would encourage you to take the vaccine. I took mine, and I feel very good about vaccines. I know that vaccines actually have saved us from so many deadly and extremely harmful diseases in our history. And so this is one more vaccine that's out there. It's been developed in record time. Never have we had a vaccine developed so quickly. And taking the vaccine is our best and quickest way back to normal. So the road to recovery about coronavirus, again, after we get most of our adults vaccinated, we should be able to get all of our children, essentially all of our children, back in our classrooms for in-person instruction. And there is nothing more important than getting students back into schools. And I know that's really important for all of you. We talked about last summer, it's very difficult to teach PE at home. You've done that, and you've done a remarkable job of it, but it'll certainly be a lot easier when we get all of those folks back into the classroom. Here's a little bit about funding. So You see this screen on the left side. You see CARES 1, Round 1, and CARES Round 2. And that's the money. Round 1 is the money that came last April. Most of that has either been spent now or it has been allocated out for summer school this summer, for after-school learning, for resources for children to help them recover from the effects of the pandemic and get caught back up and ahead of where we were before. CARES Round 2, that's the money that was approved in December by Congress, was signed by President Trump, I think on December 27th. And that money we are just now in the process of taking applications from districts and getting ready to spend that over the next 2 or 3 years. So the money can be spent up until September of 2023. Most of that money will be spent in the fall of 21 and then in 22 and then in the first part of the 23 school year. And then we have CARES 3. So this is the money that was just signed into law by President Biden only a few weeks ago. And we still are waiting on some guidance, final guidance from Washington about how the money can be spent. But we know that this CARES 3 pot is much larger than the first two allocations. We have in Alabama $2 billion, a little over $2 billion to be spent in our schools, almost all of which will go directly to local school districts. And it'll be spent for things, as you see, learning loss, certainly, but also special education, adult ed and family literacy, career and technical education programs, facilities, things like improving HVAC units. Some of you may benefit directly from that as we get better ventilation in our gymnasia and other facilities, and then other health protocols. So this money will be spent out again throughout the next school year and the year after, and then a little bit in the year after that. This money can actually be stretched all the way through to September of 2024. So the strategic plan has a motto that we use here at the department that I know is something that I believe and you believe, and that is that we have every child, every chance, every day. We every day want to make sure that we give children chances, opportunities to make choices for themselves, to succeed in life, to better themselves, and to make sure that they're happy and healthy and fulfilled adults. And then we want to make sure we commit to do that every single day. Every child, every chance, every day. There are also 3 fundamental questions, not technically a part of our strategic plan, but these are 3 fundamental questions that I think are very helpful and very useful. And when people come to me with ideas or suggestions, or even vendors come with products they want us to consider, these are 3 questions I say that everybody has to ask themselves, and they've got to be able to say yes to at least one of these questions. So first, will it help our students become better readers? Very important. Early literacy is an extremely important thing. It's important to our state, and we've made a remarkable commitment to improving literacy in Alabama. Then number 2, will it help our students to be better prepared for success in algebra? So algebra is, of course, the gateway math. Everything we do in the early grades mathematics pretty much is leading toward building up for success in algebra, and then success in algebra is actually the gateway to success in higher math. So it's all about algebra, and we certainly want to make sure that our students have the best mathematics experiences possible. Now the third one of these more directly relates maybe to what all of our teachers do each and every day, and that's, will it help our students become more productive, responsible citizens when they graduate and they move on into the workforce? So everything we do, from picking students up in the morning on that first bus ride, or meeting them at the door as they get out of their parents' car, to when we send them home in the afternoon, we feed them, we offer them all kinds of academic enrichment and courses, we offer them health and safety. They learn lifelong things through programs like health and physical education. All that we do to support children, that's important because we're making them into successful, responsible, productive adults in the workforce. All that we do, that's really our goal. So we ask those 3 fundamental questions. And of course, I know that for what you do, all three is an absolute emphatic yes. Our strategic plan has 5 goals. The tip of the spear is academic growth and achievement, followed by college and career and workforce readiness. Safe and supportive learning environments. I stopped there just a minute to say that when we began this process of developing a strategic plan, safe is what everybody talked about, because we were at that time really on the heels of the Parkland tragedy. And so we were talking about what does a safe learning environment look like. But then as time progressed, we got to thinking more about what a supportive learning environments look like. What do we need to make sure that our students have high quality mental health supports, and to make sure that they're healthy and happy and doing the things that they need to do to be just happy children growing into productive adults. So we have to make sure we balance that we have safe and supportive learning environments. The 4th pillar is highly effective educators. We have to get more teachers into classrooms. We have to do that in multiple ways, and many times that means we have to recruit people in for second careers. We have to convince people to come into teaching from other states, maybe from other careers, from other opportunities. But the truth is also this, that we just need more 16 and 17 and 18-year-olds wanting to become teachers. Now that's what I did in high school. I knew I wanted to be a teacher. And I still, when people ask me what I do, I say I am a teacher, because deep down at my heart, even though I'm serving as state superintendent, I see myself as a teacher. And that's what we have to find, are more young people who are willing to come into this profession and want to change the lives of other young people who come behind them. And I hope that you'll help us recruit more people into that. So highly effective educators. And then that last piece is the foundation of it all, and that's customer-friendly services. That one's the only one that is really directed only internally at the department. We want everybody here at the department to have that shared vision for how do we assist people in the state, how do we answer questions, how do we help people find the direction that they need so that they can be more supportive of their local schools, if they're teachers, so they can be more engaged in their local schools and in their profession, if they're students, so they can get more out of school. Just a few things I'm going to go through, and I'm going to hit these quickly now. Academic growth and achievement, we have 2 major projects underway. One is implementing the Alabama Literacy Act and getting all of our teachers trained up in high quality early childhood science of reading professional development. And then also for mathematics, we've got ALSDE for All, where we are beginning now to expand ALSDE to make sure that all of our elementary teachers have options to learn more about teaching math and science. And hear what I say there. It's not about knowing math and science. They're grown-ups. They've gone through college. They know it. But teaching it, of course, is a different skill. And how do we make sure that all of our teachers have all the skills and resources they need to teach both reading and math and science? And then college and career and workforce readiness, computer science, career tech ed, the Jobs for Alabama Graduates, dual enrollment and advanced placement, credentials for high school graduates. These are all things that work together to demonstrate that students are ready for that next step in life. The role that you play is very important in that, because all of our students have to be physically, emotionally healthy so that they can progress through school and be ready to take that next step after high school. Safe and supportive learning environments. Again, I said a little bit earlier about trying to do a better job making sure we have mental health supports out there, making sure that we have nurses in all of our schools, and that we have a lot of supports that surround children and help them, especially as we come to the end of this pandemic. We know how very important it is that children receive the supports and services they need so that they can take the next steps on in their school careers and in life. And then highly effective educators. As I said, we're working on several things. So trying to get more professional development opportunities out there for teachers. We're working on an online certification portal that'll be state of the art. and it'll be much easier to recertify than it is now, and that should be rolled out in the next several months. And then again, we're working on several options to recruit people into the teaching profession. And our customer-friendly services. We're working on a new website at the department that'll be rolled out this summer. It'll be much more customer-friendly. It'll be mobile-friendly for the first time. And it'll have a lot of information on there for community, for parents, and certainly for educators. And we're trying to engage social media in a way we never have before, with thousands and thousands of followers, so we can get directly to all of our constituencies out there who really want to know what's going on in our schools. And that's Alabama Achieves. It is a pretty simple, straightforward plan to raise achievement and opportunities for all of our students all across the state. And your role in all of this is extremely important. Every day we have children, all the way down from 4 and 5 year olds up through high school, who rely on you as they go to physical education to make sure that they're learning about how to take care of themselves emotionally and physically, but also that they're getting an opportunity to practice those skills. We know that even during this pandemic, especially during the pandemic, one of the things that children have missed the most is being children, having an opportunity to play together, to work together, to learn together, to achieve together, sometimes to lose together, but to learn from those experiences. And because so many of our students have not had the opportunities to go to a regular physical education class, it's been really tough this year. As we move into the fall and we get back to normal school, or something that looks a lot more like normal than what we've had this year, I want to encourage each of you to reach out into the lives of children and help them recover that sense of wonder and that sense of childhood, that sense of play and teamwork and achieving things together that they can do in a physical education class almost like they could not do in any other part of the school day. Again, I want to say thank you for being creative and responsive last year, for helping us get through a very troubling year in which many of our students were remote at-home learners. But it's all getting better now. We are seeing the light at the end of this tunnel, and the light actually gets brighter by the day. So let's recommit ourselves that as our children come back in person next fall, we will make their life experience through school the best it's ever been. 2021, 2022, I hope and I pray will be our best school year ever. Thank you.